All right, let's get started. I don't want to keep you guys too long. What we're going to do is we're going to shut down the chat for now, and there is the Q&A. I guess you'd call it a pod or function or feature, and that's how you'll be able to. For some reason, I can't see it, but we do have other people in here that will be able to help me out here. It's not popping open for me, but that's where you'll be able to ask your questions and get some answers. So let's get started. In here today, you have, I'm Jennifer Campbell, and then Rachel Devaney's in here as well. We have worked hard on this course, building it for high schools all over. And then we also have Evelyn in here who will help us out with, she's the lead curriculum developer, and she'll help us out with some questions as well. I wanted to actually try something. This worked last time, and it really helped me figure out how to best approach this webinar. If you go to your participants pod, you should be able to raise your hand. And I would love to know how many people in the room have used CodeHS already. So raise your hand if you have used CodeHS already. Very cool. Okay, so about half of you. All right, so I'll make sure to show you some of the CodeHS features as well, since half of you have not used us. All right, see if you can lower your hand now. I want to ask one more question. So hit that lower hand. Perfect. Yo, you guys are pros. We're all pros now that we Zoom all the time, right? All right, so raise your hand if you have already used our first cybersecurity course, so the Intro to Cybersecurity course. So this one's advanced, and then if you've used the Intro to Cyber course. Okay. Not many of you, but for those 20 that did raise your hand, I do have a slide specifically for you about kind of almost like a crossover. So just be aware for that one, because we've added to the original course as well. For those that didn't even know that we had an original course, this would be the second course, and we do have 2 cybersecurity courses now. All right, thank you so much for that, guys. That helps a lot. The agenda for today, we're going to go over just the course in general, the Advanced Cybersecurity course. I'll let you guys know how to access materials in the beta course. I'll see if you're interested in the teacher testing group, and then we'll leave plenty of time for Q&A at the end. And hopefully I'll be able to find that pod and help everyone answer questions. All right, so the Advanced Cybersecurity course overview. I put the slide in here because there's a big reason why we're building these courses, and there is such there's so many opportunities in the job market. So I found data where it says that there's over 300,000 job openings. So if we teach this to students, they will be good in the future. If students really want to go in this field, there are opportunities there. So it's a great thing to teach students and expose them to. An overview of the course just in general is that students will learn advanced cybersecurity topics all through our web-based platform. So for those that have never used CodeHS, everything is web-based. It's all you need is an internet connection and a good browser. But it's all within the web-based. You don't have to download anything. You don't have to go offline for anything, although we do have offline materials as well. But you just are in one spot all the time. And the course has a lot of different things into. So it has interactive activities. It has a lot of visual and dynamic things just to make it engaging. So like I said, it's entirely web-based. Again, we wrote that because I think it's really good. It helps teachers in the whole facilitating of the classroom and stuff like that. And it's broken down into modules. So modules are like your chapters, your units, whatever you call it. We call it modules. And each module is made out of tutorials, programs, quizzes, simulations, programming exercises, and free response prompts. It is designed for a year-long class, basically that meets every day. But schools do use it in different ways. They use it as a supplement. They use it as well as something else. They'll use it in a block schedule. They'll use it even as a self-pace. They can use it as self-pacing because it's all online. So a lot of schools use it in different ways. It is for high school students. This is the second course in the pathway. So it's for high school students, typically 11th or 12th grade, almost like a capstone. And it is designed for students who have completed a Cybersecurity 1 course. So our Cybersecurity 1 course is Fundamentals of Cybersecurity. So it would be in our pathway. This is our pathway. We have We suggest some sort of computer science course. So our suggestions would be like a web design or a intro to computer science. And then we would follow it up with fundamentals and then advanced cybersecurity. All right, here's the module breakdown for the advanced course. This course, if you were with us for the fundamentals or if you know our original cybersecurity course, there's a lot of different topics. This one is a bit different where there's not as many topics because we really go into depth in some of them. So we have advanced cryptography, we have advanced networking, and then we have cyber defense and risk management. And along with this, because they are longer modules, so we'll take them longer, but we also have a project within each one. So after each module, we have a project as well. So these are our projects. We have steganography, which is so cool. I'm going to show you that one probably at the end. We have IT professional, which has students build a knowledge base. They also build a video tutorial, and then also have like they act out a customer service call, which could definitely be fun in your class. Then they have a security assessment report where they look at a faulty website and, you know, suggest ways to fix it. And then we're still working on these last two, but they're mostly done. So we do have students work on documentation and password policies and stuff like that in the put it to writing. And then the game of risk, we have them build a game which has students looking at different attacks and different defenses against those attacks. And we also have the supplemental material. So we do have extra material in there if you're interested or if your students are working faster or if they just have an interest in this. So we have cryptocurrency, web development, and then we do teach SQL in the first cyber, and then we have the second part of SQL as supplemental if you want to. And these are all pretty big too. They're all at least 30 lessons. I know cryptocurrencies I think is like 50 or 60. So there's definitely a lot of material to choose for if you need more than just what's in the course. And then this is the crossover. So for the 20 people who have used Intro, there were 3 things added to Intro. And I thought this was pretty important because if you've used Intro and you want to use Advanced this year, you don't want to skip these 3. So this would be like the one weird year where those students will definitely have to have these 3 before they go on to Advanced. And we've added them into the supplemental. So even in the beta course that you get access to today, you'll be able to see these 3 modules, which are in the first course. So it's, you know, that 1 year where things are changing. And then after that, it'll be all fine. But just wanted you to be aware of that. If you have had your students take the intro course, they will need these 3 from the intro course. All right, so a few demos that I have on here, and then I'll actually just show you the course with screen sharing it. So this is one clickable interactive activity that students can use to kind of practice their modular, their modulo math, and you know, working backwards. So they see how hard it is, and this is in the encryption module. So they see how hard it is and how it adds to the encryption, you know, the strength of the encryption. We also have some simulations on permissions and how to set permissions. So you can see in this demo that you can't get to the access key if you log in as a student, but you can if you log in as a teacher. And this is all students can click. So they don't just watch it, they can actually do it. And this is huge news, at least, you know, hopefully it is to some of you, because we've heard a lot of requests for stuff like this. We are aligned, not fully aligned, but we are aligned to many of the objectives in some of the high, you know, the tests, the CompTIA tests. And the reason we did just a few from each is, you know, it depends on, this is kind of the course where students decide where they want to go, if they want to go more in network or if they want to go more in security. So we decided to include a lot of objectives from all 4 of these, certifications. So they're not fully aligned for these certifications, but there are a lot, we cover a lot of the material on these certifications. And if you are interested, our fundamentals actually is fully aligned to CompTIA ITF. And then it also includes, the fundamentals course also includes some of these other certification objectives as well. But it is fully aligned. So if you want the students to be set for a certification, they absolutely will be after the fundamentals course. All right, so I'm gonna let you guys know how to access materials. I'm sure there's lots of questions. I'll try to get to it in a little bit. But let me see if I can get you guys access to the course. actually no, let me do it now. I was gonna show you the course, but I don't want to keep you in suspense anymore. So you can go to this link. I believe Evelyn will put it in the chat for you. We tried to keep it kind of simple so you could just jot it down real quick. So codehs.com/advancedcyber/start, and then put in that class code. So the access that you are getting right now is student access. So it's basically a course that we've created where you're enrolling as a student. You'll still be able to see all the material and stuff like that. The only difference is you're not able to assign anything yet because it is still in beta. So we still are improving materials. We might add a few things. It's not going to be fully ready until July, and then that's when you'll be able to assign it to your students. But for now, you can absolutely go in and see everything that we've done already. We also have a syllabus. Right there, not as easy as a link. I tried, but it's still pretty long. But we will put these in the chat as well. And then we have a marketing page that gives kind of almost everything that I just said. But if you want to refresh your memory and just go through it in one page, you can see that also. So it includes all the modules and stuff like that in there. We also have an opportunity for a teacher testing group. So what this is it's a way for you to leave feedback on items that you are reviewing. So feedback on what could be improved, maybe what could be added, even feedback on, if it's something that is good that you've been looking for. And the way to do this is, I'm gonna give you a form in a little bit and you can sign up. And as you're going through the course, this will give you like a little star on the top, and you'll be able to click the star and give us feedback on the assignment that you're working on. This helps a ton. This really helps a ton. We love seeing your feedback. I mean, you guys have such great ideas. So it really is excellent to get your feedback and your suggestions on what to add, what to improve. So if this is something you're interested in, you can go to this Google form and we will set you up with that little star that you can click on and give us feedback. And I'll leave this up just for a second. Okay, so I do want to get to your questions, but before that, I want to show you a little bit what the course looks like, especially because we have half of you in here who have never been on CodeHS or have never used CodeHS. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Okay, let me share my screen again. Oh, well, there's the Q&A pod. Okay, so this is what our courses look like. This is how they're set up. And this is the student view. So this will be what you see as well. So we have these modules and you can open them up by clicking on them. We have these lessons and you can open up the lessons. And then each lesson each lesson has a video and a quiz. And the quiz is like a check for understanding to make sure that the students actually watched the video. And then we have a few examples or a few activities here. So this is like our encryption algorithms. And then it just continues on. Like this is our project, our steganography project, and everything that goes on in there. And it's very, very easy for students to get through. And when you complete something, it turns green, so students know exactly where they are. Very user-friendly. So I wanted to show you two kind of activities that we've had just as examples on top of the demos that I showed you. One of them is the hidden message one in steganography project. So this I think is going to be a lot of fun to do in your class. So this is the example that we give students and then they'll end up making their own. But we have a pixel tool where students, oh, I forgot, I changed this one to red. It shouldn't be red. I think I can get rid of that and it will go back to, there we go. All right, so students can actually type in or use this pixel tool and draw a pixel. And then what we have here is, according to an algorithm, an encryption algorithm, we actually have a message hidden in the first 14 pixels. Now, of course, you can't see the difference with just your eye, but the color is a tiny bit different and there's a whole message stuck, hidden in here. So students will get to create their own picture using this pixel tool and then create their own encryption method and trade with partners and see if they can figure it out. So I think this would be a really fun interactive thing for students. And then we also have simulations. I wanted to show you some of the simulations. This one is same unit with the encryption. So we do have these simulations where if you hit run code over here, it pops up for the student here. And then they can, there we go, use this to another interactive activity. So this is a pigpen cipher. And the cool thing about this is if students do have coding background, they can see the code that was used here. And they can mess around with it. They can change things if they want to. And then of course, if they mess it up, they can just hit reset to starter and it'll go back and the whole thing will work again. All right, so let me come back and I want to see if we can answer some questions. I'm sure we have a bunch. But definitely go ahead, find that Q&A, that Q&A function feature and definitely ask away.
So I'm not seeing any questions so far, but just a reminder that we did post all of those links that were in Jennifer's presentation to the chat. And we also will be sending these links out afterwards, as well as a recording of this webinar.
And I can see the Q&A now, so that's good.
Yeah, now it's lighting up. So do students have to take fundamentals to take the advanced course?
Yes, so they have to take a fundamentals course of some kind. Obviously we suggest our course because it lines up and we know what's in the first course and what's in. That's the thing with cybersecurity, that kind of, you can teach it in a whole bunch of different ways or different sequences. So I absolutely suggest that they take our fundamentals course and then the advanced course. If they're coming in as a transfer student and they've already taken a cybersecurity course, then maybe you can go to advanced, but my suggestion would definitely be take that fundamentals course first. You can't take advanced cybersecurity without something else before that.
And then we had a question about how long will beta access be available. So the course will be in beta until July. And then at that point, it will open up and you can assign the course to all of your students and it will be in its fully launched form. So basically until July, you can go through the course beta and leave feedback. Would this be appropriate for middle school students, Jennifer?
This course, I don't believe so. We do have, the fundamentals course would be, even the fundamentals course, I do believe it's more of a, 10th grade course and maybe honors 9th grade course. Only because you can get that certification at the end, and the certification is only good for 2 years. So students take that certification or learn the material for a certification in 7th or 8th grade, even if they're capable of it, they're not going to be able to use that certification until they'd have to retake the test, basically. So I definitely think that it's more for this course specifically, 11th and 12th, and then the fundamentals you can get away with 9th and 10th grade.
Great. We had a few questions about the teacher resources that we'll be providing for the course. So will we have solutions to activities? Will we have lesson plans available?
Which one was that? Sorry. Lesson plans and, okay, I see.
Yeah, we had a few people asking about lesson plans, asking about solutions. Will those be available for teachers?
Yes. So the lesson plans come with the first 2 units, right, Evelyn? The first 2 modules, and then it's pro after that?
I think it's the first 10 lessons, but maybe don't quote me on that. If it's free, yeah.
Yes, there definitely are lesson plans available. We create the lesson plans. The solutions are almost all created already, but we'll have those available as well. There is a free versus pro at how many you have access to.
Great. We had a request. Could you put the pathway slide up again that shows the cybersecurity pathway?
Yes, let me see if I can get that. Mm-hmm. There we go. So hopefully that helps.
Great. And then actually we had another request about, could you put up the slide, I think it's after this one, that shows the 3 modules that they'll need from fundamentals.
Sure, absolutely. So here it is. And these are all in the supplemental materials for advanced. So you don't have to find them or anything like that. You just go down to the bottom and hit on supplemental materials, and these will be in there.
Great. And then how long was the advanced curriculum designed for? How long would that, is this a full year course?
Yes, yeah. So this is a full year course. There's a lot of depth in each module. So the lessons, usually our lessons typically take a day or 2, but I think these lessons in the advanced course are going to take more like 3 days, 4 days each. And then we do have the projects that will be longer as well. So definitely it takes a year.
Great. Looking at the simulation, coding will be required. Could you talk a little bit more about the level of coding experience that we're expecting students to have? And are there any courses that you would recommend we have that students could take that would prepare them for the coding portion?
Okay, there actually, there's no coding specific activities in this course. There's code available for the students to look at if they're interested, but they don't have to interact with the code at all. With that said, though, we do have in the fundamentals course, we have a whole module right here, the programming fundamentals, where students do learn how to code in JavaScript. And they also learn how to do a bit of SQL as well in the fundamentals course. So if they get to our advanced course, they should have some coding knowledge already. But like I said, it's just an option. They don't have to interact with the code at all in the advanced course.
And then we have a question just about the original cybersecurity course, so the intro course that we have, fundamentals and advanced. So could you maybe clarify just basically the status? So we will still make the intro to cybersecurity course. That's the one that has been out for a few years. That still will be available if teachers would like to teach it. However, it is redundant, right, Jennifer, with the fundamentals and advanced course.
Yes, the fundamentals course is basically the intro course with these 3 additions. We have done a few little changes as well, but the main changes are that we have just added three modules to the intro course.
Great. And then could you go back to the information on certifications?
Here we go. So these are the certification alignments for the advanced course. The fundamentals course is aligned to the ITF course. So I did see a question about that in there too. So the fundamentals course, you're good for the ITF certification, and then the advanced course hits a bunch of objectives from all 4 of these tests.
We had just another question about how long this course is intended to last. So the course is designed as 5 days a week for a full year, but how much time, what is it, an hour-long period? What's the kind of hour?
Yes, so on the syllabus, we do kind of break it down in hours instead of days because we know, schools do different things. And it was 105 hours to 145 hours. And hopefully that's helpful, so that you can split it up in whichever way you'd like.
Great. Can students use an iPad to complete the course?
I believe so. Didn't we do, Evelyn, do you know?
Yeah, so we are compatible with iPads now. Are the coding examples in any specific language?
Yes, so the simulations that we've done that give the code, that have the code there for the students to explore is HTML and JavaScript for the most part.
Great. Let's see. Can you, I think I've had a few questions about the virtual environment that we have, that we've created for this course. So could you maybe go back to some of the examples that show kind of the the simulations that we've set up for students.
Yeah, so I'll explain this too because I keep hitting the wrong button. The it's less of a virtual environment than just a single simulation for that activity. So each student, what makes it good about that is they have these websites out there where you can kind of practice SQL injection, legally and stuff like that. But if one person takes it down, then it's not available for students to test on anymore. So the way our system works is if you have, let's see, this Pigpen one. The way we have it is each student has their own version of this. And this always happens when I'm on Zoom. Sorry, I get stuck on the drag. So each student has their own version of this code. So if I were to mess up something in here, it would not mess up another student. So we do have a few things where they can test, cross-site scripting or something like that, and they won't mess up another student. But it's not like a virtual lab or a virtual environment where you go back to it and continue to work on the same one. It's all in succession of what the activity is, what we're trying to have them practice.
Great. Do you think that if a school is, or a class is teaching the AP Computer Science Principles course, do you think that Cybersecurity Fundamentals or Advanced Cybersecurity would accompany those AP course?
Yeah, I think that AP course, the AP CSP course, or I guess that would probably be the best one. That would be such a great course to take before fundamentals, as giving the students that basic computer science while getting a college credit. Like, I think that that's definitely number one that I would do as a teacher. I would teach that course first and then do fundamentals and then do advanced.
Great. Okay, I think another clarification is needed. So what's the difference between Intro to Cybersecurity and Fundamentals of Cybersecurity? Is Fundamentals just a bridge between Intro and Advanced?
No, I'm sorry for that confusion. Fundamentals is a whole course. I don't have it on here, but Fundamentals is a whole course. It's close to like 9 or 10 modules. So if you have never taken Fundamentals or Intro, don't even worry about the differences. Just go with Fundamentals. It has everything. The only difference is the Intro course does not have these 3, which are required for the ITF certification and will be required if you want to take advanced. So if you haven't done any cybersecurity with your students at all, do fundamentals first and then advanced. Don't worry about Intro.
Yes, and then I also put a link in the chat just with the webinar that we did last week on fundamentals of cybersecurity, the course beta. So that is available now. It also has instructions for finding the course beta. So you can go through the fundamentals course if you haven't seen it yet. Great. Do students need the advanced cybersecurity course to take the certification exam? Would the certification exam be the CompTIA exam, or is there going to be a CodeHS certification exam like the other programming language courses? So there actually is a CodeHS level 1 cybersecurity certification. We don't have a certification that goes along with the advanced cybersecurity course, so like a level 2 certification. That is something that may be coming later on, but not for this school year, potentially the next one, so 2020, 2021. And yeah, Jennifer can talk a little bit more about the CompTIA alignment.
For the fundamentals?
For the CompTIA, yes.
Okay.
Fundamentals.
Yeah, the fundamentals course is fully aligned to the CompTIA ITF, which is probably the only certification that is really designed for high school students. and they can, they'll absolutely prepared after fundamentals. And then after that, if students want to continue on with more certifications, then they can take the advanced cybersecurity, which will prepare them for a bunch of different ones.
And a question, what is the difference between the 6 CompTIA A+ and the 14 CompTIA A+? I guess those are just different certifications.
Yeah, so there's 2 A+ tests, and I thought this was confusing too. So there's 2 A+ tests. One is more like security based, one is more network based. So the level is, it goes ITF, that one's on by its own, then the 2 A+ core certifications, and then security and network. So security and network are the hardest ones. The A+ are in the middle, and the ITF is the lowest ones. So I don't know why they chose to name it that way, but like the 1001, that's the network one, and then the 1002 is the security-based one, which is why we usually have more of those objectives covered.
Got it. And then do either of our cybersecurity courses talk about getting a security clearance or requirements for getting cybersecurity jobs or jobs in cybersecurity?
Security clearance. I don't think we have anything specifically on security clearance. We definitely have lots of lessons on just permissions in general, and physical security measures that were put into place, and how you might have to have like a token card or something like that. So indirectly, I guess, we include that.
Are there any demonstrations or examples of what network traffic may look like if they are infected with malware?
We do. We have a simulation of a DDoS, and it's just a simulation. And then I'm trying to think if we do have students look into logs as well, which is not a direct looking at the traffic and the traffic. And then we do teach in fundamentals in the fundamentals course, we do teach some of the command line commands, so they can see their own internet traffic.
Great. We had a question about just recommending ways to track student progress or get weekly reports for self-learners. So we do have some just student tracking tools. A lot of those fall behind our pro account type. So I would get in touch with us if you want to learn a little bit more about that. Let's see, are the steganography examples in HTML?
The steganography examples that we have in there, it's our own pixel tool that we've created, that engineers have created for us. So the students do not they don't like mess with the HTML or anything like that. They just use our tool. So they don't need to know how to use the color code. It tells them what the color code is, and then they just put it in there.
Great. Let's see. We have a question. Is a cloud computing curriculum on the horizon for CodeHS? At the moment, no. But get in touch with us if you have any requests. It's always helpful to kind of learn why you are looking to offer that course and what specific content, kind of at what level you're hoping to teach students. And that just kind of helps us with learning about the different courses we may offer and planning. Jennifer, do you know how students sign up for taking the CompTIA exams?
I've been on their website, and it looks straightforward, where they just sign up on the website. I don't know much more detail than that.
Great. We had a question, would the certification be available in South Africa? I believe that CompTIA certifications are international. The CodeHS certifications are available worldwide. Do the certifications give an industry recognized credential? So I guess there are a few questions that are just about kind of what value like a CompTIA certification would give high school students. Yeah, so I would say maybe Jennifer has a little bit more to say on this. I think it does depend on the career path they're actually going into. I would say if students are going to either a 2-year or 4-year program after high school, that might carry just a little bit more weight. Internships are also very valuable in that real world experience. I would say also carries more weight than just having the certification. But having it is a level of it verifies that they learned enough about specific topics and are knowledgeable enough to perform different tasks. And just a clarification, so students don't get certifications for completing the course. The course gives students all of the prerequisite knowledge needed, or in certain cases, only some of the prerequisite knowledge is needed to pass the exam, but students do need to pass the certification exam. It's not just completing the course and they get the certification. They also have to demonstrate knowledge either through a CodeHS certification exam or the CompTIA certification exams. Can you talk about the offline materials that accompany the course or will accompany the course, Jennifer?
Yeah, sure. So we do design some exercises to be offline within the course. So we actually have, especially in this new advanced cybersecurity, so we have a lot of times students work, just on regular paper and either design a network or something that they'll have to actually like draw out that they can't just type up. And then they can upload it and submit it that way. And then we also have just handouts in general. So a way to get the students off the screen just for a little bit and complete handouts, worksheets. We provide those as well.
Awesome. Yeah, so then we had a question just about this course. Is it separate from our computer science courses? And then just a question on students, can students sign up individually or should the school do that? So I would say we do have individual plans. However, if you are a teacher and you're wanting to teach like a group of students rather than have students sign up for individual accounts, you should definitely create a teacher account and enroll students that way so you have access to all of their work and you can grade them. CodeHS does not offer the CompTIA certification exam. We do cover a lot of the content that is covered in the certification exam, but signing up for the exam, taking the exam, that would be something that you would need to do outside of CodeHS. So we are not, by taking this course, you're not automatically signed up for any exam. Let's see. Do we cover virtual machines?
Just a little bit, not extensively, but we definitely do mention them.
Got it. Let's see. Are we endorsed by CompTIA? Do you know if they have endorsement?
I haven't seen anything like that. And I think for the main reason is that there isn't, especially high school cybersecurity courses, like there's just not many out there. So I don't think it's something they've even looked into. So I definitely have not noticed it, in my research for this course.
Great. And then does each module take about the same amount of time?
No, I don't think so. They do vary. On the syllabus, we do give you, we break it down by module in the syllabus. So I do think the cryptography one goes a little faster. The last two probably take the longest, but we let you know. We kind of go by the lessons and then the difficulty of the lessons and stuff on the syllabus, so it'll tell you.
Great. Just this covers a few questions that I'm seeing in terms of when this course will be available to assign to students. This is in July. So until then, you won't be able to assign anything to students. But come July, you will be able to assign to either like a full cybersecurity course. You also can, using the CodeHS assignments tool, just assign parts of it in an APCSP or different course. The presentation, this will be emailed out to anybody who RSVP'd to the to this webinar, a recording, and then all of the different resources that we shared. This will be sent out basically today or tomorrow to anybody who RSVP'd. Do we cover VPNs, proxy servers, anonymous search, and what that means at the network level?
Yes, we definitely cover VPNs and proxy servers. I'm not sure if we hit anonymous search, but we definitely absolutely do the other ones in the, which one is it in? I think it's in the advanced networking one. Oh yeah, it says it right there. See, I mean, it's small, but it's in there, the VPN.
Got it. And then other questions, do students practice penetration testing using?
They do. Sorry, I'm excited about that. They do, and they learn about it. So they learn about it in the risk management. The practicing, what we're gonna do, there's a lot of additional things that could be so great to add to this course, but some of it is just impossible to do in a web-based system. So we will absolutely suggest ways to further and extend the lesson, and that would be one of them, the penetration testing.
Great. Is Algebra 1 necessary as a prerequisite?
I believe it should be finished before they get to this anyway, because Algebra 1 is typically a 9th grade course. So they should have that done before getting to this course.
Let's see. What school network ports need to be opened, and what other things do we need to be able to access to go through the content in the course? So
yeah, since it's all web-based and you're not actually getting into the computers unless you choose to as an extension, you shouldn't need any kind of special capabilities. Everything that, the simulations are just that. They're simulations. They're not actually opening ports or scanning for ports. They're just kind of going through what it would look like. So you shouldn't run into too many permission errors that way.
great.
These are such great questions. There's so many of them. Like, keep them coming.
Yeah, we had a question about having like a hacking competition, something like a capture the flag in the spring. For students who participate in this course. So right now we don't have any competition planned, but that's an awesome idea. So definitely.
And we did add, this last project, we kind of tried to gamify it, even to put it in writing one, we tried to gamify that one a little bit. But the game of Risk, students are creating a game, and there could be a tournament of sorts where students play each other's games. But yes, in the future, we definitely want to find a virtual way to kind of like have one class, kind of compete against another or something like that.
Great. Yeah, there's a question just about if you have a section of the fundamentals course and you have, a few students that are ready for more challenging information, can you assign both courses? So yes, you can. You can assign either the full course to these students, or you can assign just single modules. So if you have some advanced students that have gone through the whole fundamentals course, you can definitely pull from this course.
And just be careful with that as well, because the fundamentals course isn't out there yet. So if your students have gone through the intro course, remember that there are those 3 additional modules that are available. They should get through those modules before going to advanced stuff.
Great. We had just another question. Can you maybe go back to the CompTIA alignment information?
Yes. So the CompTIA, I know it's confusing because we have the two courses and they're similarly named, I guess. So let me go in order. So first you take the fundamentals course as a 9th, 10th, 11th grader. And that will cover, that's fully aligned to the CompTIA ITF, which is the first level course of CompTIA. And it hits a few other objectives as well. Then you'll take the advanced cybersecurity course. And that, again, it's not fully aligned to a certification. So if you do want to take a certification, you might have to do some more prep on top of that. But it does hit the 4 major ones. So students can break off in whichever one they want to go to if they do want to take a second certification.
Great. So right now we don't have any open questions. We'll maybe hang around for another minute. But otherwise, if people have had all their questions answered, thank you so much for attending. Would it be possible to offer this as a virtual course, or do you need face-to-face time?
This course, it definitely has everything in it where a student can do it virtually. Absolutely. Even if you did, like, who knows what's going to happen in the beginning of the next semester? We really don't know yet. But if we were to start school off in a virtual environment, they can absolutely take this. Even with like one, like Zoom meeting with them a week, just to make sure that they're understanding everything would definitely suffice. I think it's better face-to-face, but it'll definitely work in the virtual environment.
Can you repeat your response about virtual machines, using the sandbox for pen testing, and hardware configuration hardening?
Yeah, so I believe what I said about that, but I might come up with something new here. We do teach penetration testing. We don't have a sandbox for it as of yet. We will suggest, like in the lesson plans, ways to enrich what we're teaching with penetration testing and hardware configuration and stuff like that. But since we have everything web-based, that's kind of, we can't do that without hopping off of CodeHS. So we will absolutely give resources to teachers and other ways to do that within the lesson plans.
Awesome. Microbit is not used in this course, but we do have a separate microbit course, and potentially you could teach them side by side. Let's see. We have a question about these two courses. So these two courses are full year courses. And is it okay for a teacher with no cybersecurity experience, or is there PD available? So we actually will be hosting summer PDs specifically for cybersecurity teachers. These will be free sessions, I believe, in July. So be on the lookout for that. And so I would say definitely go through the course as a student if you don't have cybersecurity experience. We do have online PD courses. We do have these sessions. I would definitely recommend, attending trainings if you can. But otherwise, I think going through the course as a student would be probably the most valuable thing. Do you have anything to add, Jennifer?
No, that sounds good.
Great. Any other questions? So I believe if you're in this webinar, you have RSVP'd to the webinar, and we have your email address. So we will be sending out emails to people who have, RSVP'd yes. which I think you have if you're in this session right now. So otherwise, we will be posting an article at help.codehs.com, and I'll just post that in the chat. And so you can look for that. If you don't get an email from us in the next, basically tomorrow would be the last day that we would send this, you can just go to help.codehs.com and get an answer. A question, do you have a course, I'm not sure if that's supposed to be before the fundamentals course.
You can go back to the pathway.
Yeah.
So that's where you kind of have, or the student has a choice. We do recommend having some sort of exposure to computer science. So students can take something like web design or computer, JavaScript or something like that along those lines. AP/CSP even. But we do suggest some course of computer science before taking the fundamentals course.
Yeah, and then just a reiteration. So the fundamentals course is our new, basically introductory cybersecurity course. If you did teach the intro to cybersecurity course last year and you enjoyed it and don't want to, want it to teach the same thing as is, you definitely can. It will be available. But fundamentals is kind of our new and improved course that we've added a lot more content to, both for standards alignment and to increase engagement. So I would say that that's kind of the recommended intro course now. And so that course is actually in beta right now. So I'm going to, again, send out the article on how to access the fundamentals of cybersecurity beta. I believe we'll probably end this soon, just to be aware of everybody's time. If you have any questions, you can send an email to hello@codehs.com, and we can answer any specific questions there. So Fundamentals of Cybersecurity is the new course. It's not going to go away. Neither course, Intro to Cybersecurity and Fundamentals of Cybersecurity, those courses will still both be available. Fundamentals is the course that we're recommending. It's kind of our new and improved course. Great. Let's see. If you missed the Arduino session that we had, you can just search Arduino at this site that I've posted. So help.codehs.com, and you can find the webinar. Great. All right. Thank you, everybody. And if you do have any questions, you can send us an email at hello@codehs.com.
Thank you very much, everyone.